Welcome to Chuck's Guitar Geekery. Today I'm checking out another cheapo little pedal, another cheapo Overdrive pedal. I know I've done 1,000 videos on those, but this is one of those Amazon Prime Day deals, and really the only one I treated myself to on Amazon Prime Day this year, so let's check it out. When I got it and I ordered it, I assumed based on the color scheme that it was more of a Klone style Overdrive. I'm not so sure, so we're just going to dig into it. I'm using my trusty Tele parts caster here. It's got a humbucker and a single coil to give a little flavor of each. I'm running to the Orange Terror stamp. The opening track you heard there, I had the rhythm section on the neck single coil pickup and kind of at unity gain with a somewhat dirty amp and use it just as a little more gain on the amp. But then for the lead, I really cranked up the volume and pushed the front of the amp and used the humbucker. And added a little delay because it's kind of a safety crutch when it comes to me and soloing, is having a little delay and a little extra reverb. But that's neither here nor there. So I'm going to start with the amp pretty clean, show how it goes with a clean amp, and then I'll have it layering on top of a dirty amp, because really that's where Overdrive pedals shine, I believe. So subscribe, thumbs up. I'll have affiliate links below if you want to try to grab one of these for yourself. Yeah, let's get into it. So my general experience with Overdrive pedals, they don't sound very good going into the front of a clean amp. Okay, so now let's dial in a bit more gain from the amp and use it more to layer Overdrive on. So this is amp distortion from the Orange Terror stamp, so cheap amp, cheap pedal. That's what I do. Try some single coil action. Okay, so here's my observations with it. The more gain you have, the darker and more woolly sounding it gets. But it also still kind of has the clean signal bleeding through, so that makes it sort of like a Tube Screamer-ish, but the tone sweep really is nothing like a Tube Screamer, so. It has a lot of output volume though, so it can really push the front of an amp. And when you have the gain down and the volume up, it gets a lot brighter, so. Different ways you can use it. Let me turn the gain on the amp back a little bit, but really use the pedal to push the front of the amp. So here's bypassed. That's how much output it has on tap, so bypassed again. Okay, setting it up like that is a bit ludicrous. Let's try something else here. So, a lot of volume on tap, so you can really push the front of an amp. Let's bypass it and get all the gain out of the amp. So here's a pretty gained up sound. Kind of woolly sounding like that orange sound is. Let's layer gain to get more gain out of it. So now I backed off the gain on the amp a little bit, let the pedal do a little more. Quote, transparent overdrive. That wasn't good. I wonder if that was the switch that messed up there. Huh. So, this overdrive. It's a very dark overdrive, so if you have an overly bright rig that you're trying to tame down a little bit, or you have a single coil bridge pickup, which I don't have on this guitar, but I could see it working well with that. Now, just for poops and giggles, I actually do have a Wampler Tumnus here to compare it to when I thought it was going to be a Klone style. Let's see what they sound like compared to each other. Okay, so I backed off the gain on the amp a little bit to let the pedals do a little more of the talking, so here's bypass. That's enough of all this. Yeah, nothing like a Wampler Tumnus. I don't know if you see how low. I have the treble like on 1 or 2 on the Tumnus to get the tone all the way up on the Azor. So, not a Klone style pedal. It is what it is, I guess, but it does have like, it's a pretty woolly sound on it. So if you want, halfway between overdrive and fuzz, it's not a bad tone, and they're cheap. So, anyways. That's the Azor Vintage Overdrive. Listen to the sounds, come to your own conclusions, I guess. So, thumbs up, subscribe, you know what to do. See ya.